What's up, fantasy managers? Welcome back to another episode of the First Pitch Podcast brought to you by PitcherList.com. My name is Jake Crumpler, and I'll be your host for this edition of the pod. You can follow me on socials at Jake Crumpler and can find all of my work at CrumplerBaseball.com. Let's dive into everything baseball related from Sunday, September 21st. We'll start it off, as always, with the transactions, injuries, news, and notes from around the league, kicking things off with the bad news as starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff was placed on the 15-day IL with a moderate lat strain. Woodruff obviously will be done for the season as the IL placement knocks him out for the season's final week. Woodruff is getting a second opinion, and it's unlikely still that he'll be ready for the National League Division Series after the Brewers get a bye in the wild card round. But tough blow to the Brewers as they head into what will hopefully for them be a lengthy shot into the playoffs. In a corresponding move, starting pitcher Robert Gasser was recalled from the minors to start in St. Louis. He tossed 3 innings, allowing 1 hit and 2 earned runs, walking 2 while striking out 2, inducing 3 whiffs with 27% CSW across 45 pitches, and he should fill in for Woodruff in the rotation. But Woodruff has looked so good this season for the Brewers. Let's see if they can withstand this injury in the early goings of the playoffs. In terms of transactions, outfielder Wilyer Abreu was activated from the 10-day IL after missing quite some time with a calf strain. He DH'd in his first game back, but Abreu is a superior defender to Masataka Yoshida, so he's expected to switch with him at some point and take over in right field, and should be platooning with one of Nate Eaton or Rob Refsnyder. We also saw starting pitcher Charlie Morton get DFA'd by the Tigers. That will end his tenure with Detroit. And it looks like Chris Paddock is expected to move back into the rotation after spending some time in the bullpen. And in terms of news, shortstop Xander Bogaerts is expected to be activated from the 10-day IL today after missing time with a non-displaced foot fracture. Bogaerts will likely reclaim shortstop duties for the Padres, shifting Jake Cronenworth back to the Keystone position and moving Luis Arias either to first base or DH, which will affect the playing time of Gavin Sheets and Ryan O'Hearn. Infielder Edmundo Sosa is expected to be activated from the 10-day IL tomorrow. He's been out with a groin strain, and he could reclaim second base duties for the Phillies over Weston Wilson. And lastly, starting pitcher Roki Sasaki is expected to be activated from the 60-day IL on Wednesday after missing a lot of the season with a shoulder impingement. I'd expect him to pitch out of the bullpen given the Dodgers' current 6-man rotation, but cool to see Sasaki back in the majors after a very rough debut campaign. Now we can take a look at the notable performances from Sunday, a day in which we had a full slate of 15 games. We'll start it off with our hitters, leading off the shortstop, J.P. Crawford, who helped the Mariners to win in Houston, going 1 for 4 with a run, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. It was a grand slam, his 12th homer of the year, and it traveled 365 feet at 101 miles per hour. Crawford has been on a tear recently, making up for a slow summer. Since August 31st, Crawford's batted .324 with 3 homers and a WRC plus north of 150. The hot finish has put Crawford on track to finish with the second best offensive season of his career. 2023 remains a clear outlier for him offensively. It all comes down to Crawford's ability to pull the ball in the air, skill that he maximized in 2023 when he topped out at 19 long balls. He's been able to barrel the ball more over the past 2 years than he did that season, which sort of suggests that everything's more sustainable. Expected metrics like him more, but his power hasn't been comparable because he doesn't pull the fly balls as much. Regardless, Crawford has proven to still be a capable option in 15-team leagues and deeper, and has chipped in a career-high 8 stolen bases this season to make fantasy managers happy. Next, we've got shortstop Ha-Seong Kim, who helped the Braves to win in Detroit, going 1 for 3 with a run, a home run, 2 RBIs, and a walk. It was his 5th homer of the year, and it traveled 383 feet at 104 miles per hour. A change of scenery from Tampa Bay to Atlanta has done Kim wonders. After struggling with injuries and on-field performance with the Rays, Kim was DFA'd and caught on with the Braves, who have untapped one of the better offensive streaks of his career. Since donning a Braves uniform, Kim has batted .313 with 3 homers and a WRC plus nearing 130, a stark contrast to the .214 average, 2 homers, and 70 93 WRC plus he recorded in 6 more games with the Rays. It's great to see Kim swinging and missing less, allowing him to make more contact, but it's all a little bit unsustainable. So I wouldn't get too excited about like him reaching another level next year. He could still produce similarly to his 2024 and maybe his 2023 campaign, depending on how aggressive he is on the base pass, though he'll be in an elite Braves lineup that should rebound in 2026, making Kim a very, very decent option in fantasy leagues. But if you'd like a breakdown of other notable hitting performances from Sunday, check out the Daily Batters Box article over on pitcherlist.com. Now we'll head to the mound and check out some notable starting pitching performances, opening with Caden Dana, who helped the Angels to win. Nope, he did all he could, but the Angels lost in Colorado. Dana tossed 6 innings, allowing 3 hits and 2 earned runs, walking 3 while striking out 5, inducing 11 whiffs with 25% CSW across 89 pitches. And Dana survived Coors, keeping everything away from a slew of right-handed hitters. Fastballs and sliders made up 80% of his offerings, but it was curveballs below the zone that had the most success with 5 whiffs and 60% CSW. Dana got away with a lot in this one, most notably with his 1-2 punch on the fastball and slider, stealing 7 called strikes while inducing 10 foul balls on the heater and going 9 out of 12 outs on balls in play with the slider. The slider was his most used offering and returned just 16% CSW. It usually has more success in a ballpark with typical elevation. Sometimes Coors can do that to breaking pitches, but due to Dana's poor fastball shape and his other secondaries rarely stepping up to take off the pressure of his slider, I don't think he's someone we should be targeting next year, and definitely not versus the Astros next. And lastly, we have Emmett Sheehan, who helped he did all he could, but the Dodgers lost to the Giants. Sheehan tossed an incredible ball game, 7 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walk, and 10 strikeouts, inducing 17 whiffs with 37% CSW across 84 pitches. And Sheehan has had an incredible finish to the season, recording a 1.15 ERA across his final 5 outings combined, while striking out 36% of the batters he's faced, priming Sheehan to be a coveted breakout candidate in fantasy drafts next year. Sheehan earned the Golden Goal on Sunday, leading baseball with 17 whiffs to earn the Gallows Pole and with 37% CSW to earn the King Cole. The Giants could not touch him in this one, and we're happy to see the Dodgers bullpen trot out after the 7th inning. Mid-90s four-seamers stayed upstairs for Sheehan as they induced 10 whiffs and 38% CSW, while sliders cooked for 6 whiffs and 41% CSW glove side. Changeups didn't find as much success against lefties as you would expect given the line, and a reliable tertiary pitch to put away opposite-handed batters will be the final key to Sheehan attaining his full potential. Either way, he's an auto start in Seattle next. But if you'd like a breakdown of every single start from Sunday, give the Plus Pitch podcast a listen and check out Nick's daily SP roundup over on pitcherlist.com. Now we'll head to the bullpen and check out the relievers that got saves and the closers that pitched outside of save situations or blew their saves, starting with the former. Tony Santillan recorded his 7th save with a hitless 9th. Emilio Pagan had pitched on back-to-back days, so he was resting, but Santillan also pitched on back-to-back days. They have really been turning to him a lot more in the 9th inning. Mitchell Parker pitched a scoreless 3 2/3 inning save, his first of the season. Jeff Hoffman recorded his 32nd save with a scoreless 9th. Robert Suarez recorded his National League leading 40th save with a perfect 9th. George Soriano also pitched a perfect 9th for his first save of the season. Ronnie Henriquez pitched a hitless 7th for his 26th hold in that one. Victor Vodnik pitched a scoreless 9th for his 10th save. And lastly, Ryan Walker got the final 2 outs of the game to record his 16th save. And in terms of closers to pitch outside of save situations or blow their saves, Raisel Iglesias got the final 2 outs of the 9th up by 4 after Dylan Dodd worked into trouble. Keegan Aiken served up a pair of homers in the 10th. The Yankees put up 6 runs in that frame to claim the win, allowing David Bednar's performance in the 9th inning to go unwasted. He pitched a hitless 9th in a tie game. The Yankees would win that one in 10 innings. Edwin Diaz struck out the side in order in the 9th with the Mets trailing by 1. Jordan Leisure got the final 2 outs in the 9th, down by 1. Sean Armstrong recorded 2 outs across the 8th and 9th, trailing by 2. Phil Maton got the final 2 outs of the 9th in that one. Yohan Duran allowed a run, pitching the 8th, down by 6. And lastly, Pete Fairbanks pitched a scoreless 9th, up by 4. The Rays put up 3 insurance runs in the 8th to ruin his save opportunity. But if you'd like more information on relief pitchers, check out Rick Graham's weekly articles over on pitcherlist.com. And before we look forward to today's games, we're going to take a quick break. Now we'll look forward to Monday, September 22nd, a day in which we'll have just 3 games on the slate beginning at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. My matchup of the day, we actually have a pretty good one despite the short slate. Freddie Peralta will take on Nick Pivetta on 2 likely postseason bound teams. Should be a good one to watch. Peralta's been very solid all year, and Pivetta's been incredible in what I would consider a breakout campaign. Our other auto start on Monday, as we take a look at our probable starters, is Chris Sale versus the Nationals. He'll join Peralta and Pivetta in the auto starts tier. Our probably starts tier has 2 guys, and our questionable starts tier has 1, and that's where we'll find our streamer of the day, really the only streaming option in Michael McGreevy in San Francisco. McGreevy's a Toby. He's been very solid this year. The Giants lineup, though, has been a lot hotter recently, especially in September. So it's not the greatest streaming option, though McGreevy could make this work to get you a quality start or a win. In terms of hitter suggestions, I'd look at Ozzie Albies versus Mackenzie Gore in Truist Park. He's batted .333 with a homer and a 1,000 OPS in 15 at-bats against Gore. I'd also take a look at Marcell Ozuna versus Mackenzie Gore in Truist Park. Ozuna has batted .412 with a homer and an 1121 OPS in 17 at-bats against Gore. I'd also target Christian Yelich versus Nick Pivetta in Petco Park. He's batted .375 with a pair of homers and a 1296 OPS in 16 at-bats against Pivetta. And lastly, I target Nolan Gorman versus Justin Verlander in Oracle Park. Gorman has batted .400 with 2 homers and a 2100 OPS in just 5 at-bats versus Verlander, but small sample success there for Gorman. And now we'll close things out with our relievers to watch. Raisel Iglesias is pitched on back-to-back days, so I think Tyler Kinley should get a shot at a save for the Braves if one arises. And lastly, Robert Suarez has pitched on back-to-back days, but so have both Mason Miller and Adrian Morejon, so we could see Jeremiah Estrada get a save opportunity for the Padres. But that'll do it for today's episode of the First Pitch Podcast. Make sure to head on over to pitcherlist.com to check out all of the great articles and features we have on the site. Sign up for PL Plus or PL Pro to gain access to the Discord and to support the Pitcher List staff. You can follow me on socials at Jake Crumpler. Tune in live on YouTube tomorrow and every day for a new installment of the podcast. And make sure to enjoy the day as we are blessed with another day of baseball.